the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the Ultimate Legends Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Tanjiro Kamado. And if you are planning on getting your hands on this figure, I will say that these are slowly starting to pop up at Target. Go ahead and check your local, because if mine got it, yours probably definitely does, considering the fact that mine gets everything last. Now anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this figure, starting off with the sexy packaging. Now for the sexy packaging, you do have a whole lot going on here. You got some Demon Slayer logos all over the place, Demon Slayer themed content with the clouds and everything right here, the gold, the actual logo. You got Tanjiro swinging his sword right there. Pretty sure that says Tanjiro in kanji, I'm not entirely sure. Warnings, choking hazards, all that good stuff. You got a slight window where you can see the figure. It says Ultimate Legends Bandai, all that good stuff right there. Nothing at the bottom. Along the side here, I really like this writing. I'm pretty sure that says Tanjiro once again. Nothing on this side. And then you've got a pose you can get him into on the back, and then all the stuff below that doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and bust this guy out so we can see what it's all about. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe I was introduced to this line on Instagram by none other than the legendary Spider Criminal. Go follow him on both Instagram and YouTube if you haven't already. Yeah, I believe he was the one who told me about these. And when I saw the pictures online, I wasn't planning on getting them. I wasn't going to pick these up because I knew I wasn't going to keep them. But when I saw them in person, I was like, I might as well pick them up to review them at least. And that's exactly why we have this figure here. Now, if you hear me say these multiple times in this video, because I've already said it on a couple of recordings, it's because I picked up Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Now obviously I'm just reviewing Tanjiro right now, but yes, I picked up all three. So if I say these, that's what I mean by that, but obviously we're just talking about one. Now anyway, this Tanjiro looks really dang good, man. Now, I do want to say that this is made by Bandai America, the same line that made the two versions of Naruto. I believe we got a Kakashi. Each of those ran about $9, but this one cost a little bit more because he actually comes with some accessories. I believe I paid about $18 a piece for each of these. So yeah, they came out to be a little bit more, but honestly, I would say that they are worth it. And now we'll go ahead and get into why by taking a closer look. Now, with this figure being under the price point of $20, obviously it's going to have some issues. Most of those, in my opinion, kind of come from the paint imperfections, which I'll go ahead and get into first. Therefore, I can dive into everything I like about it. First off, the faceplate does not look the best. It doesn't look bad, but he kind of looks zombie-like. It has a bit of a shine to it, but it's not too bad. Honestly, the only paint issue I have is around the scar, where it kind of is a little off in certain areas. But I do think that the hair and everything, and the eyes are also painted very nice. I love how the hair kind of fades from this brown to black as it is supposed to. The earrings aren't painted the best. Some of the line work is a little bit off, but it is extremely far from horrible. Now, the main issue most people will probably have with this is the jacket. As you can see, the checkerboard pattern does not lead all the way up the arm. It kind of stops once you reach the elbow, and honestly, with this figure being as small as it is, that's to be expected, so it's not going to bother me that much. I'm just glad that they painted it in the first place, because it would have been horrible if they had just left it green. Now, the only real issue I have is the back right here, where you can see we got some green that kind of was painted over the black. I don't know, it kind of looks like it was just scratched off. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, maybe it's just something with production. But that's the only real issue I have with this guy. Now, everything else looks good, man. The paint on the outfit underneath the jacket is very, very clean. I'm talking the browns, the whites, the sheath, all the way down to the little wraps around his ankles. All of this, the sandals, painted very, very clean. You don't really have any paint bleeding or anything. The belt buckle's painted nicely. The buttons and everything on the jacket. They just did such a good job with the inside part of the figure. Again, the jacket is a tad bit off, but that's really the only place you're going to run into any issues. But overall, the rest of this figure is like very dang good looking, man. And if you want to see a comparison between this and the Figma, here you guys go. As you can see, he's a tad bit more pale, but I think this just depends on the art style, who's drawing, and then what kind of battle Tanjiro is in. But overall, this looks really good, man. For an $18 figure, it's definitely solid. Now, if you do actually have any of these figures, then you will know that they run on the smaller side. To the top of his head, he doesn't even reach 5 inches. So he's definitely a little small. Now, if you want to see how he fares in terms of size comparisons with the Figmas, I will show those later on in the review. But Tanjiro's a pretty small character in the first place, but I still don't think that he's tall enough. Just my opinion. We will see later. Now, when it comes to the articulation on this guy, I think they did a great job, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have problems. The more you articulate this guy around, if you do it too quickly or you tug too much on it, he will fall apart. Now, when it comes to the head, he looks up about that much, down about that much. Again, he is on a double ball peg, and this is it coming off. But I forced it on that. I did that on purpose for you guys to see that it will come off. The arms only go up and out about that much. If you pull too much, you will get the bicep part to come off, as you guys can see. And yes, I pulled that off. That was done on purpose. Yeah, you can bring the arms all the way in, but I would do it slowly because they will pop out from inside this joint right here also. But as you can see, those sword swinging poses are going to work fine, and then here it is popping off. That time I didn't do it on purpose, but I did it a minute ago, and I think I didn't put it all the way back on. But yeah, sword swinging poses, no problem at all. Single jointed elbow, another one. If you bend it too much, that arm is going to come off. The hands are on this weird joint right here. But it works very well, and you don't have to worry about having any issues with the hands. It's just more of a hinge, but you can swivel it from all the way inside, so that's good. The diaphragm joint is probably the best part of this figure, because you can see he can move all the way around, no problem. He leans back, leans forward. Now he does have waist turn, but if you turn him at the waist, it is going to pop off. So just wanted you guys to be aware of that. The sword is in the sheath, but it does not move any more than this, so that's about as much as you're going to get out of that. In terms of the legs, he kicks out more than enough, in my opinion. He would be able to kick back, but as you can see, the lower half of the jacket is actually attached to the belt, so that's going to hinder any going back movements. The legs can kick out only about that much, so not a whole lot, but it will help once you get him in those sword swinging poses. He does have a thigh swivel, single jointed knee, foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Really good ankle rocker, no toe hinge. So overall, the articulation is decent, man. For an $18 figure of this caliber, you can truly get him in those sword swinging poses, no problem. Now, I know this isn't the best, but you can get him posed up, man. All you got to do is put the sword in the hand and kind of angle it and turn it how you want to, and it'll work. This thing does work nicely. Again, not the best, but for what you're paying, I think you get a decent amount of movement. Now, when it comes to accessories, you don't really get a whole lot, but to be honest, he probably still comes with more than your standard Marvel Legends release nowadays, and that says a lot considering the fact that this figure is about $7 cheaper. Now, anyway, he comes with a pair of fist hands. These are not the ones that are attached to him in the package. He actually comes with these sword gripping hands. I just switched to the fist hands because I think they look a little bit better when you have him standing vanilla. He does come with his sword, which isn't painted the best, but it looks okay. As you can see at the tip, it's more on the rounder side versus being pointy, and then it does have some writing on it as well, which is kind of lame. I wish they would have put that elsewhere, but oh well, nothing you can do about it. The sword's not the cleanest, but it's far from awful. And then he also comes with this piece right here for when he has his weapon in the sheath, and I think this is great. It works very well. Let's try to put this on. Hopefully I don't have any issues. There we go. And it stays in. Like, this isn't going anywhere. So they did a really good job with that. But that's all you get in terms of accessories. Once again, I think that is more than enough, considering the fact that these figures normally don't come with accessories at all. Moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to the Figma Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Tanjiro Kamado, the Figma Zenitsu, and then we have him standing next to the Figma Nezuko, which is probably one of Figma's worst figures ever. As you can see, we got tiny Tanjiro right here who just does not stack up to these three at all. Again, showcasing that these are not going to fit in scale. Here he is standing next to the Figma Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Inosuke, the Demon Slayer Figma Rengoku, and a Buzz Mod Akaza. Next up, here he is standing next to a couple of Narutos. We have the pre-time skip Anime Legends Naruto. We have the post-time skip Anime Legends Naruto. And then we have the SH Figure Arts 3.0, whatever you want to call it, updated Naruto, and just looks like a couple of clones. As you can see, they just progressively get taller. Last but not least, here we have the extras. We have them standing next to an SH Figure Arts Zatch Bell, a Mafex or Metacom Toys Nightwing from Batman Hush, and then we have them standing next to the Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Before I even go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts, I want you to take something into consideration. We only have 4 options when it comes to posable Demon Slayer figures. First off, we have Figmas, which are usually overly expensive and most of the time turn out to be not worth the price points. Some of them turned out to be good, most of them turned out to be absolute failures. But if you started collecting the line, I can see why you would keep going. Next up, we have Buzzmod, which is pretty much in the same boat as Figma. They're making everything, and that's honestly why I think that they are worth picking up, because it really looks like they're going to complete the line. The only problem is every one of their figures is $130 off the bat, and honestly, they're not worth that price point. They're not at all. But again, they're completing the line, and if you love Demon Slayer like I do, you're going to want to pick them up. Next up, we have McFarlane, which the thought of those makes me sick to my stomach. But that doesn't matter. We're not even going to count those. And then we have these. Now, I don't know how far Ultimate Legends is planning on going with this line, but I would assume that if it's supported, they will continue to make figures. Now, if you want Demon Slayer figures at an affordable price, keywords, affordable price, these are the way to go. That you can get Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all for under $60 versus paying $80 a piece for the Figma versions versus paying $130 each for the Buzzmod versus paying anything at all for the McFarlanes. I think these are worth the pickup. That's how I feel about them. Honestly, if they were up to my standard quality of collecting, I would be more than happy to keep these in my collection. But unfortunately, I'm one of those losers that's going to keep buying the Buzzmods, that's going to keep buying the Figmas, because I just like imports, man. And it is probably my biggest flaw. I should easily be able to settle with this, but I'm not. I'm not. Don't be like me. Be your own person. If this looks good to you, pick it up. It's definitely worth it. The articulation is decent enough. He comes with the accessories that you'll need. And then if you have any other figures in your collection that come with flame accessories or water accessories, you can mix and match. It'll work fine. But anyway, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.